Welcome to Discover Ramona, where we explore the people, places, and businesses that make it the best place to live. I'm your host, Valley, and I'm here with my co-host, Jan Ryan. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Valley.
So I have a curious question. If you, Jan, were a buyer right now, what are some things you would look out for?
Well, if I were going to buy a home in Ramona right now, I would do exactly find the area I want to live in. There's so many cool areas. There's country estates if you want country club living, or if you want a ranch if you have horses, or West End Ramona for commuting or close to town.
Mm-hmm.
So I would check those out and get a local agent who knows about the wells and the septic and all those other things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would talk to the neighbors. If I found my house, I would walk around so you'll learn something you may not know otherwise, something super valuable.
Yeah.
And then don't discount the houses that may be a little bit out of your price range, but that have been sitting on the market for maybe a month. Definitely worth a look at those.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice because your neighbors can really make or break.
Yes.
Yeah, your future at
Yes.
that home. Who did you bring for us as a guest today?
Well, today I have Kimber Williams with Robin's Nest Animal Rescue, giving animals a second chance at a new life that have been forgotten.
All right, let's meet her.
Let's meet her.
Hi, Kimber. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Jan tells us that you own an animal rescue. So I want to know all about it, where you guys are located, what kind of animals. Like, tell us everything.
Well, first off, we're on the west end of Ramona, so very accessible to both Ramona and Poway. Our animal rescue is somewhat new, but we have 25 animals across 8 different species.
Oh.
So we largely have farm animal, and sometimes we focus on miniature breeds because they kind of get a bad rap and are misunderstood. But we have alpacas, not a miniature breed, but potbelly pigs, horses. We have a mini horse, a mini donkey, sheep, sulcata tortoises, dogs, cats. I feel like we have a little bit of Noah's Ark, but
Well, yeah, that's funny.
a little
Where do
bit
you
of
get these
everything.
animals?
Well, every single animal essentially has their own story and background. And so we've gotten them from hoarding cases. We work with other rescues. We get phone calls from families moving who can't take their animals with them. Our mini horse and our mini donkey came from a kill pen, which is basically like a high kill shelter.
I didn't even know those
for
existed.
livestock.
No, I didn't
yeah,
either.
Yeah, it's pretty traumatic for them, but that is our goal, is to bring them to their ranch and give them a safe haven and an opportunity to heal. And what's, I think, different about us versus another rescue, and we have a ton of amazing rescues in Ramona, is that we're not just a rescue, we are a sanctuary, which means that all of our animals come to Robin's Nest for their lifetime. So we don't adopt out, we don't foster for the most part. There's a few exceptions to that. But also, we give our humans an opportunity to heal right alongside of our animals. So we're starting a therapeutic program where we bring folks who just would benefit basically from a healing space, and they get to nurture and heal right alongside of our animals. It's beautiful.
And which ones are the most nurturing, do you find, animals?
You know, it really depends, honestly, on the individual person. To see that connection with a particular animal varies based on a case-by-case basis, depending on who the individual is. For me, it also depends on the day. Sometimes it's the potbelly pigs. They're pretty popular because they like to snuggle. They're very, very cute and very, very loving, very smart, very intelligent, very emotional. So some of our volunteers will just cuddle up literally in their little hay barn and snuggle. For a lot of people, it's the alpacas because they're so curious and interesting and different. Not a lot of people have a daily interaction with an
No,
alpaca.
certainly not.
But they are very, very outgoing individuals, and they all have their own personalities. So it really, it's fun to get to know them over time because their personalities will come through. And again, everybody has a different kind of favorite. And I can't just pick one.
Well,
Like-
what about how does this all work? Because I know there's medical bills, there's food, there's
Absolutely.
upkeep, there's a lot that goes into this, and
There
I
is.
can't even. I mean, just the thought of how much it would cost to run a business like this, or I mean,
It is a business.
yeah,
While we are a nonprofit, we are a public charity, but at the end of the day, it is a business. We fall in a different tax bracket.
yeah,
And
okay,
our donors obviously get a tax break on any donations they make. But absolutely, it takes a ton to run a rescue. The food alone, probably for just our 25 rescues, is over $20,000 a year. That's just to keep them fed. That doesn't include vet care. That doesn't include upkeep. That doesn't include shearing or hoof trims for the horses and the pigs. So it's a considerable amount. And we are all volunteer run. So none of us take a salary. And most of us have full-time jobs. I have a full-time job outside of the rescue. We do other things on the ranch too to kind of offset the cost of running the rescue. But we solely rely on volunteers and donors in our community for support, and it's huge.
I didn't realize you had another job also.
Oh
That's
gosh,
amazing.
yeah. Oh, I have many jobs.
Yes.
But my day job is I recruit attorneys for really large law firms. I went to law school,
Really?
so I work with the biggest law firms of the world by day, and then when I can squeeze in time with my cute cuddly animals, I do. But we also have an Airbnb on the ranch. We have a vintage Airstream that we Airbnb, and that really is a good opportunity for guests to glamp, but at the same time meet our animals.
Yeah.
And we get to educate them about their stories, their healing process, and it's just we have a lot of fun too.
Well, you don't wake up one day and just open a sanctuary.
Kind
So
of, but
you-
no.
Is there some passion behind it? Something
Absolutely.
like personal that drives you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am a lifelong lover of animals. Since I could walk, I was that kid saving a bird falling out of the tree. My first horse, growing up in Texas, he was my heart horse. I knew from a very early age the connection between an animal and a human, and that bond is just amazing. When I started to kind of reach that point in life, though, after law school, after starting a career where I was like, life is short. And it happened for a lot of people during the pandemic, which is when it happened for me, when I said, there's never going to be a perfect time to say, now is when I'm going to start XYZ. So I came home and I was like, Mom, we're buying a ranch in Ramona. And we're doing this. So, and it started off as just actually a passion project. It didn't start off with, hey, I'm going to start a nonprofit. I'm going to do this and that. It just very organically grew into that. But it started with just like, hey, let's rescue, 3 potbelly pigs. And then it's gradually snowballed. Well, let's save this mini horse and this mini donkey from the kill pen. And then from there, again, very organically grew with the support of the community who saw what we were doing, who wanted to be involved and wanted to support us. So absolutely could not do it without our Ramona community. It's amazing.
So it started with the pandemic. That's so
It did.
interesting.
Yeah. And I lost my dad during the pandemic. So again, I know for a lot of people, there were a lot of epiphanies during the pandemic, which for me, yes, life was short. So go after what you have always wanted to do. And for me, it was building something special for animals where they could feel safe and connected and trusted again. And knowing that that's a two-way street. So that's where it started.
And I got so many requests for you to be on the show.
Oh,
I just
thank
have to
you.
tell you.
Well,
Yes.
again, that speaks to our community catching a glimpse of what we're doing at Robin's Nest and wanting to be a part of it and wanting to support us. So absolutely could not do it without our community. It's been amazing. A very short few years that we've been here. The love has been outstanding.
This might be a sore subject, but what about the all the animals from the Julian
Well, I know very little about it factually.
Like, are you going to
We
get any of
have
those animals?
possibly, we have reached out to the Humane Society to offer our help. Specifically, they've been asking for folks with experience with horses and exotics, and we have that. I'm an experienced horse person, and we have alpacas. Not everybody can say, I know how to handle an alpaca, and we have hauling experience. So we do hope that the Humane Society reaches out and takes us up on our offer to help. But I know that they're working with a ton of other organizations
I hope
that
we
have
get
the
some.
resources.
Yeah.
But we are at least able to temporarily house some of those horses and those alpacas, the larger animals, because we do have a little bit of space.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to ask you, how'd you come up with the name Robin's Nest?
That's a great question. Interestingly, we don't have any birds on the ranch, but Robin is my middle name.
Oh,
So,
okay.
again, years ago, I kind of had this little plan in my head to have a rescue ranch. And even about, I think it was 10, 12 years before we even bought this property, I came up with the name Robin's Nest. And I came up with the logo even. And so I believe in putting something out into
Yeah.
the universe
Yeah.
and that it
Manifest
will
it.
happen. Absolutely. Not without a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that putting it out into the universe is magical, and it happened.
You must be just deep to your core a nurturer. Like,
I am. I am a
Yeah.
mama bird, mama bear. Absolutely. I love to take care of things and people and animals. And I think that when you step onto our property, you can tell that we take a lot of care of our animals and our people, and again nurture
do you
that
think
relationship.
that the animals look at you like their mom?
Our volunteers would say yes, that I'm like, they see me walk by and they're like,
Yeah.
maybe it's because I'm feeding them most often, and I'm the one with the treats, but I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, that bond is just so undeniable.
I would say yes when I visited.
Yes,
For sure. I was
yes.
going to tell you their mom's here.
Yep, yeah. I think so.
That's really cool.
And I think you've also got to talk about October. You've got a big
Yes,
event.
absolutely. So speaking of the support of our community, our big fundraiser yearly is a music festival held at our ranch. And it's our yearly fundraiser for the animals, and our music community, which in Ramona is amazing, comes together to put on this music festival for us. So it's October 11th. It's the second Sunday in October. And again, it's an all-day event. We have food trucks, bands, vendors, about like Kid Zone. This year we're having again the Temecula Cowgirls drill team come and do a performance. It's just a fantastic all-day family fun event, and we absolutely would welcome the entire community, but especially our Ramona community.
It's only one time a year.
Yeah,
So you can't miss
we're
it.
going all in.
Yeah.
We go all in. We go all out. The ranch really does transform. It would look very
Wow.
different in October. It's buzzing. It's exciting. We
Even
have
more than now.
absolutely, yes. It's a very different energy. But we have the main stage on the deck of our Airstream that we Airbnb. That's our main stage. And then under that beautiful tree where my husband and I got married is our acoustic stage. So the schedule alternates between the main stage and the acoustic stage. And the acoustic stage is right out next to the animals. So I get asked a lot, like, do the animals like freak out about the loud music? Absolutely not. They love it.
Yeah, I
they
think so,
actually
yeah.
even are like, they gravitate towards what's going on and
Wow.
the energy on the ranch. It's really
it.
fun.
If
It's
they
really
could only
special.
dance.
I know. I know.
And I've got to get it out there too. The pot-bellied pigs, you think they're little, but they're not little, but they
They're
are so adorable.
sizable. They're very adorable, but that is one of the misconceptions about potbelly pigs is folks think that they're going to buy a teacup pig and it's going to stay a teacup size. No, unfortunately. They still grow to be about 150 pounds. That's probably the smallest potbelly pig that you will have. Ours are adorable, loving, smart. They know tricks. They love belly rubs. They love cuddling and snuggling. But we do try to educate the public when people come for farm tours, for example. They get to meet and help feed all of the animals. But we also like to educate them about the dangers of miniature breeding, the dangers of hoarding and whatever, that particular animal story is. So while they are amazing beings, they're also good teaching tools to help stop the cycle of whatever, fill in the blank, whatever
Breeding
it might
like
be.
the wrong ways. Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I love their names, especially Bubbles.
Oh, yes. Bubbles is a fan favorite. He came from a backyard in Imperial Beach, and he knows how to sit and spin, and he's very loving. But the others, Michael, Meg, and Falcor, they came from a hoarding situation, and they make quite the team. They're really
A
special.
pack of pigs.
Yeah,
I love it.
they are really special.
It's really cool what you're doing, and I'm glad that we're able to put it on the show because I feel like more people should know about it. If there's visiting opportunities,
Yes.
I feel like we should, let people know.
Absolutely.
And so, what's a way that people can come and help donate or show up and meet the animals? Like, how can the public get involved?
Absolutely. So I mentioned the farm tours. That's a great way to get boots on
Okay.
the ground at the ranch. It's by reservation. There's a suggested donation amount to the rescue based on your size of group, but that is an opportunity for you to come to the ranch, meet the animals, help us feed the animals, learn about what all it takes to care for all of these animals. And then our other biggest need outside of just fundraising is volunteers. As you can imagine, it takes a lot to care for their spaces, their food, just the entire ranch and keeping it nice and tidy for them and giving them a healthy space. So on our website, there's links to both the farm tours and if you're interested in getting involved in volunteering. If you can't have boots on the ground with volunteering, we also need folks behind the scenes as well. So don't hesitate to reach out if you think you have a special talent and a way to get involved. But at the end of the day, we absolutely do need donors.
Yeah.
Outside of cleaning their pens, we've got to pay for the hay.
Yeah.
I mentioned that it costs easily over $20,000 just for their food. They eat I counted up, they eat over 18,000 pounds of hay a year.
That's amazing.
And I think it's almost 6,000 pounds of grain. So you can imagine that that's a pretty penny. So absolutely, even if it's $5 a month, our monthly donors are our most valuable donors because that is predictable income that we can know that we safely can cover XYZ bill.
I think you said Cahoots was a good donor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Again, our community.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship with Cahoots, the feed store. They've donated quite a bit of hay to us. We take our animals to Cahoots for some of their events. Our alpacas are our most popular community ambassadors. So we take two of our most famous alpacas, Fern and Woodrow, out into the community to educate, meet, and like I said, be ambassadors for us.
I love that. All right, you guys, we got to get activated and help this sanctuary keep going. So thank you so much for what you do for Ramona.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for watching Discover Ramona. We will see you next time.